Yeah.
You're coming this Finance and Strategy Management Committee meeting on Tuesday the 25th of November. This meeting is being recorded and will be uploaded to Biddulph Town Council's YouTube page. The aim of the decision making should be transparent and in the public domain, which will involve more the community and local democracy. By being in this council chamber, you are consented to be recording your images and added to YouTube. The images and sound will be used for training purposes. All views expressed from the speaker's own and not necessarily a reflection of Biddulph Town Council. Please view guidance on recordings in public meetings policies if you need more information. Starting on the agenda, first item, apologies and an approval of substitute members, please. We have Councillor Hart and Harper to start with.
Yep, Councillor Brady and Salt.
Thank you.
No substitute members, Chair.
Second item, declarations of interest, any disclosure of pecuniary interests or any other interests. Nothing declared at the moment, but please shout up if something arises in the meeting. 69, to confirm the minutes of the Finance Strategy Management Committee meeting held on the 28th of October. These have been passed in full council. Are you in agreement with
Move them, Chair.
True record? Okay. Number 70A, policies. Approve the revised sexual harassment work policy. There are 18 on here that's in red, alterations, including the dates. Anybody glance through these, any comments or queries?
If I may, Chair, the majority of the reason for the change is because of change.
I think, Chair, it just sort of brings it in line with current legislation, in line with current legislation, and it's standard stuff for most places now. This is, so I don't have any issues with any of it, Chair.
Yeah, Councillor Hawley.
Yeah, I was just thinking, we've got it down as a sexual harassment at work policy, but should we also put victimisation as well? If you've got sexual and victimisation, that's probably slightly different than sexual harassment, or is it sexual harassment with victimisation?
I think we've killed two birds with one stone, really, because we've got the bullying and harassment policy as well, which victimisation forms a large part of.
Yeah, it's bullying, isn't it? Because you've got a big section there about victimisation.
Just have a quick thought on this.
Only we can change the title if you want, but their wording has come from the employment solicitor. So we just want to go back and just double check she was happy with changing the name of the policy.
I mean, if it's victimisation with a written reference to sexual harassment, then fine. But as I say, it sort of seems to be a bit general in what I could see. That was all.
In terms of the policy, because it states it's Biddulph Town Council sexual harassment at work policy, does that include then councillors who attend meetings?
To my mind, it does.
What it did.
It includes anybody who's involved with the work of the town council.
You know, I think we're all aware, as you know, some members of this town council have been allegedly harassed on social media.
Yeah.
So would this policy cover that? Yeah. So that, like, in terms of like legal assistance and stuff like that, if a councillor felt they were subject to harassment, they could come to the town council and ask for legal assistance.
Previously, we have agreed that through a town council meeting, but it's a little while ago since we did it. So I would suggest to you that if you want to kind of restate that intention, that we maybe add that to a town council agenda in the new year.
Yeah.
Because what we'd agreed previously was that if we felt there was inappropriate, say, social media content towards a councillor or more kind of face-to-face behaviour, that we would instruct our solicitor to deal with that on our and the councillor's behalf. But I would be happy
Can
to
I
restate
propose that then? Yeah, because I think social media, as useful as it is at times, there is a downside to social media. And I think some members of this council have suffered abuse at the hands of social media. And I think having that little armoury where members of the council have got that legal backup to challenge some of the behaviour, then I think that's useful.
Yeah.
I do.
I'll take it. Should have a duty of care to the council, that comes up here.
I'll move it as is, Chair. Move it as it is now.
Okay, can we do, sorry, Chair, can we do two things? So Councillor Woods asked if we can add to the town council agenda the motion to restate our intention to involve a legal team. We want to second it for that and then we'll talk policy.
I'll second that.
Okay, goes by councillor Jones,
That'll be on the January agenda.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for that.
Thank you for that. Very valid point, that is, All in favour? Thank you very much. Thank you.
And now you return to the policy.
I'll move the policy as written.
As written. So as they're written today, we're all in favour?
Yes, I am. I'm moving it anyway.
Councillor Jones, seconded. Councillor Ward, in favour. Thank you. Very much. Next one, to approve the revised loan working policy. All this one is, it's just dates on this one, to be fair.
Move it, Chair.
So it's the same. Hawley. Councillor Jones, Hawley, first and second. Thank you very much. All in favour? Okay. Moving on to C, this is a little bit bigger. We approve the revised banning policy. Now, you asked for more information on this last time, and there's a lot more information here for you before we approve this policy. Chief Officer, please.
I haven't got much more to say. We discussed this policy after we'd had a particular unpleasant incident in the town hall. Quite rightly, there were some questions that you'd asked as regards what would we do in certain circumstances. So we've done some more work on this just to kind of, it's basically pad it out and to provide more responses to different scenarios and a kind of very clear escalation process. So it's, unless there's any specific questions, that's my latest revision, Chair.
Thank you very much, sir. Councillor Jones and Hawley. Councillor Jones.
Thank you, Chair. I'm just looking at 1.2. Shouldn't be something there, it sounds unlikely, but it shouldn't be something there that says officers and councillors, as well as visitors, service users, contractors and members of the public. Shouldn't it cover everybody? Doesn't appear to. I don't know how we ban the chief officer, for instance, but should it not say council staff and councillors as well in that paragraph? Where? Just a thought.
I wonder if we might deal with us separately through a code of conduct issue.
Okay, if I'm happy with that, if that's
Yeah.
in other places.
I think as an elected representative, we couldn't just ban you from the building, for example.
You can ban a councillor. I can think of councillors we should have banned in the past, but we haven't.
Thoughts there, Councillor Hawley, please.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to general behaviour expectations and things like that, I'm just sort of thinking, given what's been going on recently, what about social media? Shouldn't that actually be included as the thing? Because if people are getting abused on social media, it's just as bad. Potentially, it should actually sort of say, well, those people who are doing it shouldn't be allowed in the town hall. I mean, the thing is, if they're doing it on social media, they start coming in, especially if they're going towards what the council are doing. If they're coming in, starting on staff, actually coming in and starting on councils, I mean, it should be. I'm just sort of think that potentially, given the current situation, that should be included.
Okay.
So unacceptable 2.2, you want to include within that, so specific disruption of council meetings, events or services, and then a separate bullet point that
I think effectively people who abusing councillors and staff on social media should be banned as well.
Yeah, okay. Do you want to include that and then make reference to the social media policy within that section?
Well, yeah, you could do it.
So, is there a second?
Yeah, okay.
That's good.
Councillor Yates.
Yeah, just thinking, coming back on Councillor Jones's point, instead of saying visitor service users, etc., saying any person entering the. It's now it's clear.
Yeah,
It's a cover.
it's a cool catch-all, isn't it then?
Okay, that was an exception which may catch you.
Yeah.
With that, Councillor Jennifer.
Yeah, happy with that, yeah.
Okay, very good, yeah.
Go with that.
Thank you, Councillor Jackson.
Yeah, that's a long shot, I know, but imagine someone has been banned, gone through this proceeding, say, been banned for 12 months. And there's a dance that somebody else, or a wedding reception, and that person's been invited to that. Is it down to our caretakers to actually say to somebody, and imagine the scenario, sorry, you can't be banned from the town, but I've got a legitimate invitation to it. I mean, I know it's a hell of a long shot, and I just don't want, I don't want sort of our caretaking staff to be put in sort of a position where it could get nasty. And that, the chance of it happening, thousands to one, I understand that, but as far as I'm aware, until recently, nobody's ever been banned from the town hall, as far as I'm aware. So the chances of it happening are very, very slim. But I just, somebody's been banned. Obviously, then all our staff know, picture that person or whatever it might be, that person is now banned. That person tries to come to some other that's not related to the town council function, as it were, but comes into, are they then banned from here? I don't want to complicate it, I really don't.
No, I think it is complicated. I think that's the reason we're kind of looking at this for the second time. My view would be if it's a private booking, then the person who's made that booking is responsible for the people that they invited here. As regards the provision of a service and the use of the town hall during office hours, as it were, then we would be able to manage that. But I wouldn't expect our caretaker alone working.
Okay. Got one or two, Councillor Yates, Wood and Jones.
I'm just wondering whether a bullet point on 1.2, because I don't think you could technically bar somebody completely, because that's what happens in public houses, whether there's an event on or whatever. But perhaps another bullet point saying, any persons entering in-person visits, how they do. And another one which says engagement in council functions or council activity. So in other words, if it is anything related to the person's coming in potentially because of something to do with the council activities, local government, whatever, then that is what the extent of this policy does. If it becomes a private hired out function, then that has its own thing. So a bullet point to sort of, I don't know what the exact wording is, but a bullet point to infer that it's engaged within the business of the council or councils, because obviously people ask with staff to county council queries and whatever. And then that covers the day-to-day operation, because that's what the ban is aimed at being, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, these points are being jotted down. Thank you very much, Councillor Wood.
Yeah, just probably following on from Councillor Yates's point. Yeah, I mean, we've got in the communications of the ban, it's got state the ban duration and any exceptions. Now, any exception could be, you're barred from entering any council meetings. That's what the ban would be.
Mm.
What the exceptions may be.
Private function.
If somebody wanted to use the toilets, I mean, I know the doors are open, how far do you go? I think, writing to them, which is all that's in the policy, be issued in writing with the reason for the ban. I think if we start going into scenarios, and I get what Kev's point, what he's trying to make, but there's a multitude, isn't there? If somebody wants to use the toilet, obviously, you can't come in because you're banned from attending a meeting or whatever. I think it's that we make it official that they're banned from council meetings if they're abusive and they're found to be abusive and they bar from that. It's difficult to say you're banned from the town hall because there's a multitude of stuff goes on in here. So I think it's just being specific on what you're banned for and what sort of hours you're banned for, from any council meeting. But I think if it's a birthday party and they've been invited, it's you're taking it to the nth degree then, or you're getting involved in social stuff.
Very good. Thank you for that. Yeah, Councillor Jones.
Yeah, I think it isn't just council meetings though, is it, Chris? It's like reception upstairs, any council business. But I was going to say, I think with a private function, I think Sarah mentioned it, having hired this hall several times, you have to nominate a responsible person, don't you? So they're going to be responsible for managing who comes and who doesn't come. So I think it would be unacceptable to ask the caretakers to walk around with a piece of paper with photos on and saying, oh, he shouldn't be here, and go and challenging people. I don't think that's on. So
That sounds like I'm doing the alterations for next time.
Do you want to see it again, or do you happy enough for me to just make the changes?
I'm just saying, do you want to accept as it is and these alterations will be made?
yeah, I would. I'm quite happy with that.
Okay.
Do that.
Is that opposed? Councillor Yates, second, Councillor Jones, all in favour? Thank you. So they will be added by the time let's see the next policies, next meetings. Thank
You want to see it again?
No. I say it could be done and then you'll see the revival.
Fine.
Trust you.
Yeah, we'll make all those.
71. We have a date for the tea with the town council ahead of the budget decisions in January. This is just set a date basically in January for tea with the town council. Anybody got any preferred dates?
We've seen a lot.
Is this a weekend? Going to be a weekend thing or in the week?
We'll do it in an evening, I think.
In the evening, okay.
We a lot of councils around us have these kind of consultation sessions with regards to budgets, and then engage with people throughout the year to talk about priorities. But we did think ahead of budgets, I think it might be quite nice to invite people in, give them the opportunity to put forward some of their priorities if they feel they want to pick those up with the town council. Obviously, provide some tea and cake.
By town county councils to each of
Yes.
Or the mayor.
Councillor Hawley.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, when will we actually decide on the budget? Will that be at the finance meeting on the 27th?
Yeah.
So it's basically got to be before that.
Well, that's definitely.
Well, I'm free apart from the 12th and the 14th.
Up to the 14th. Councillor Smith.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest just avoiding that week of the 12th because it's quite heavy. Staffordshire Moorlands district.
Okay.
Good, yeah.
Want New Year, so about the week after that. Is that London?
We can go earlier.
Eight.
Yeah, Wednesday the 7th or Thursday the 8th.
Yeah, for me, that works.
To be honest.
Most people happy with that date.
7th or 8th, what are we doing? 7th?
The staff.
To be honest, if you want to carry on with Tuesday meetings, the 6th is reasonably good as well, if you've got time to prepare.
The 6th is free both in the town hall and the council chamber, actually, so we could.
Are you working on the 2nd? I'm just thinking, given your preparation time, last minute preparation time, that's potentially is you.
To be fair, there is much in the way of preparation because what we're doing is ordering cake, asking people to come. We put an invite out before Christmas.
Yeah, Tuesday the 6th has a continuity of the.
Yeah,
It's independent meetings on the Tuesdays. Tuesdays are out, aren't they?
Monday.
The first, Tuesday, council the second, planning the third, finance the fourth.
we didn't want councillors on a Monday, independents on a Monday now.
Oh, do you? Okay.
In case you turned up.
I wonder if I keep missing them.
Tuesday the 6th, then.
Tuesday the 6th.
Tuesday the 6th gets New Year out of the way.
Okay.
Let people settle down for Tuesday the 6th, then.
Do you have a time preference? Do you want to go
4 o'clock.
4 till 6? Can you catch people as they finish work? 5 till 7?
5 gives people who are working a bit scope, doesn't it?
Time for 5 o'clock.
5 till 7, then.
Okay, Tuesday the 6th, 5 till 7.
All in favour with that, Tuesday the 6th of January, 5 till 7.
Will do for me.
Okay, thank you very much.
Going to test out the new meeting email.
I make a suggestion that we advertise that far and wide and we get it out as far as we can, because I know a lot of the general public seem to want to engage with what we're doing and have an idea of what we're doing, so it would be quite a good opportunity for them to come and start that.
Yeah, we'll certainly advertise that well before Christmas, and then closer to we'll we can put an advert in the Chronicle or whatever. So
You can prepare a nice graphic and get it shared.
certainly can.
Well done. Okay, thank you very much. Moving on then to consider the 6-month action plan update. This is the large one that you've had sent or given out to you, the large one. The ones in orange are because it's the end of the financial year, yeah? So we can't complete those.
It's a one through, Chair.
Please.
That help everyone.
Please.
Okay, so obviously we have our strategic plan, and then each year we have an annual action plan. Within that were 10 priorities that we gave ourselves. In terms of, obviously some of the deadlines aren't until the end of the financial year anyway. The first one is the accessible allotment off of Park Lane. We've had an initial indication of how much that would cost, which was significantly more than we had thought. Therefore, we essentially are going to need to seek a considerably bigger grant. So that's we're essentially now just looking for the appropriate grant.
Yeah, Councillor Yates.
Now I suggest the Disabled Facilities Grant at Staffordshire Moorlands, they broadened it to include community-based projects quite seriously. I know that the criteria has changed. So I think there is an opportunity for a grant application now. Certainly worth a punt, is not Councillor Wood?
I would definitely say so.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
May I email you
Yes.
specification for what we would like to do at the allotment plot and the rationale for doing it,
Yes,
and then you can make the appropriate introduction.
absolutely.
It's got a lot of money.
Not a wash.
No.
It's been used a lot more than it was because it's been advertised a lot more. So it's being used for what it's there for, but we've broadened the scope of it. So the Biddle Youth and Community Zone, for example, of applied ramps
Access ramps and lifts.
and the lifts, which we think is going to be approved. So
Okay. Point taken. Any other comments?
Okay,
Any thoughts?
so we completed the action where we were ensuring that footpaths were accessible and safe at the burial grounds. That work was completed in less than we budgeted for, actually, which was marvellous. Work is continuing with the Garden of Remembrance. This is number 3 at Woodhouse Burial Ground. That's an agenda item later for us. We hoped that we would be able to, by the end of the financial year, consider renewable energy sources at the visitor centre. Obviously, we've still got 6 months to go until the end of the financial year. As things stand, we're still awaiting some clarifications on the lease of the district council, which is why that's in amber. We have some work continuing at Station Road with regards to the installations there. So there's a slight slip there, but that's kind of out of our control at the moment. Ensuring town assets and services are managed appropriately at local level. So this is about us working through the assets that we may be interested in managing as regards the kind of local government reorganisation. We have, as a town council, sent our statement of intent to Andrew Stokes, the district council, and we've started to look at assessing some assets and the relationship with our locality colleagues. So we understand that we are in a locality, and therefore we will make some meetings in the new year with those who are within our start to kind of develop that we've been asked to do. Obviously, we've completed the town hall frontage. That was completed in September, which was when we anticipated it would. We talked about enhancing some CCTV provision in the town. We have been doing some work with colleagues at District Council to link in a new system with the existing SMDC system. So we're just working through those kind of procurement processes now. Page. Reading the neighbourhood plan implementation group. The group are meeting every 2 to 3 months to talk about any applications that have been referred to the planning committee and any activities relevant in terms of planning legislation changes and any other work. So that group is quite a nice, well-established group. It is a little group, but it's everybody who goes to that's kind of engaged in that process, which is very nice. We've been working with the county council on improving the functionality of the form. That's taken a little bit of time because of the county procurement processes. But an officer is coming to see me next week to talk about that. So I'm hopeful we can move that forward in the new year. So there we are.
Thank you. As you can see, it's a very busy time as per normal in Town Council. Councillor Yates.
Yeah, with regard to item 6, the town assets and services managed at a local level in the transfer. We had a cabinet meeting with the executive directors today, and Andrew Stokes raised the correspondence we've had with him, and he has thought a quick way forward, just basically to get everybody in the loop, was to have a meeting with yourself and the 3 Biddulph cabinet members, so that we can put a presentation forward to the rest of the cabinet, because it's budget setting and the implications of transfers and things. And then once that's done, then the proposal would be that it comes to this final. Is that okay with you?
And it was quite complimentary.
It was very complimentary, actually.
The town council, and particularly himself there. I don't know whether he's after some, you know. But he was genuinely complimentary.
I was at the parish assembly last night at Lincoln. We were singing our praises last night, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, Councillor, what do you want to come in?
Yeah, in terms of the bus hub and the installation of real-time information, I know that there's a lot. You go into Stoke-on-Trent and they've already got that system. With the bus hub, is there any chance we can look at going to the private sector? In particular, there was a company called JC Deco who used to advertise all the time in the bus stations. They deliberately built bus shelters, but they had the right to advertise within the bus shelters, and that paid for the bus shelter installation. Now, is there any chance we can look at something like that to pay for? You know, if we want an enhanced lifetime bus, information, but we then say, well, you can advertise on the bus or what? Is it worth inquiring if we can get it for nothing instead of us?
Things have been spoken about. Chief Officer can update us, yes.
As I understand it, the county have had grant funding to pay for this. I assume it's a central government grant. And I don't know if it's that, but I believe they have an arrangement with the company already, which is why there's some procurement conversations going on. So they will procure, I believe so, but I'm not obviously fully.
JC Deco.
It'd be something like that, I think. But there's all sorts of threshold conversations going on. Presumably, there's lots of this stuff going on. I will know more, hopefully, to share this week in terms of process.
But if we can get it for nothing,
Yeah. Councillor Jackson.
Yeah, on 07, the job on the front. When are we likely to be in a position for a global figure and a breakdown of what it's cost the town council and what we brought into grant funding and everything else?
Probably you have to do a breakdown.
That'll be brilliant. Thank you.
Everybody okay with that? Want to accept that? In favour of acceptance as is? Proposal. Councillor Chairman, seconded. Councillor councillor Lawton, all in favour? Thank you. Right. 73, so the first draft of the town council calendar. As you can see, it's a busy calendar lined up. Any thoughts or comments from the staff?
Well, you do know what goes on. It's not to let you know what goes on. It's, we thought it was helpful to try and pull something like this together, which is obviously, it changes as we add things and change processes and the rest of it. But I think it's quite helpful to know what happens in each month that may be considered by a committee, or that kind of going on behind the scenes. Just felt like it was quite a nice thing to share with you. We've been working on it for a little while and adding to it.
It's a very busy calendar, as you can see, isn't it, really?
Motivating.
That's Jackson.
Suggest, I mean, it is useful. It gives councillors that it's coming up. But perhaps, just an idea, I don't know, whether at the sort of start of every month, we get an email with this month, is this what we're planning, or these are the things we're going to be looking at on a monthly basis. Is that too much work? Or what? Just think it might be just useful that you've got a continual email coming that on this month, your
Just a memory.
local council initiative fund closes. Yeah, whatever.
Sort that out, yeah.
A bit of warning or whatever.
Okay, we sort that out, councillor Hawley.
Yeah, I'm just sort of looking at it. I mean, most of it there, I haven't got a problem with it. It's just in December, we've got Christmas light switch on Biddulph. I mean, basically, that is not a town council event anymore.
Well, not at the moment, it's not, is it? Keep it in view.
That's why I left it, to be honest, because I thought, I don't know where.
You never know.
And we can always not.
What are you going to be doing
It's not in there to start with it.
Unless somebody else wants to take it.
But always support, don't we? Best we can. Okay.
Is that useful?
Yeah, I don't think it's. Yeah.
So,
Normally,
anything-
your monthly update, if you've got lots of working groups that month, because I think we can all get a bit bogged down with those dates. But Councillor Yates has also suggested that it might be good to have, for those of you who use Outlook electronic calendar, it might be useful if we put meetings in that, which I know won't be useful for everyone, and lots of people have lots of different email addresses. But I think we might trial that in the new year if we can.
I was just going to suggest that.
You can click accept.
Yeah.
And it just goes on your calendar.
Goes on your calendar.
The thing that threw me was when I saw it said election year, prepare information capture your council. I thought, blimey, is it that close? I didn't see the word if.
all right. Okay, dokie. So, do we need to accept this one? First, second, let's accept. Just accept, all in favour, we accept these calendars?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. For agenda items, consider any disposable assets. Got anything this time?
No, nothing this time.
Right, on to B then, approve any through suppliers,
There's nobody's in it.
that and that. So, nice and brief this time, that ends this section of the meeting where the YouTube can watch us. Now we're going to confidential. Thank you for watching us and have a good Christmas and New Year, everybody. Thank you.